Do you ever feel flawed? Do you ever feel like God can't use you until you get to this next level, until you achieve something? And so you're kind of afraid to really even ask God to bless you or to do something in your life? Never feel this way. Let's look at Judges chapter 15. In Judges chapter 15, you can see how God uses one man who is incredibly flawed, and he is different than all the other judges because he's a one-man wrecking crew. He's a one-man army. In the last chapter, you saw that he proposes a riddle at his wedding. Out of the eater came something to eat, out of the strong came something sweet. And the only reason they figured the riddle out was because they talked to his wife and they got her to tell the Philistines, what the riddle meant. So then he gets mad and he kills 30 Philistines. They get mad, they give his wife to his best man. So he retaliates by taking 300 foxes, tying their tails in groups of two, putting a torch at the end of those tails, and torches all their grain fields, all their vineyards, and all their olive groves. Huge financial cost. So the Philistines respond by killing his former wife and her father. He's upset about it, so he kills a lot of Philistines. So they pressure Judah, the tribe that he is living in, to give up Samson. They say, look, we rule over you. You can't allow this person to do this, or we're going to kill you people. So Samson allows himself to be tied up by the people from Judah in new ropes. They deliver him to the Philistines. He breaks the ropes, finds the jawbone of a donkey, and kills 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey. One-man army. Unbelievable. But isn't it amazing how this flawed person is used by God? But don't think that God doesn't notice those flaws. Don't think that you can get away with those things. A lot of times we compartmentalize our lives and say, God's okay with this, and I'm doing this for him over here. In fact, chapter 16, he meets a woman named Delilah, who he loves deeply. And she's also deeply in love with money. And so the Philistines say, we'll give you 1,100 pieces of silver if you'll trick him into giving you the secret of his strength. And first he tells her it's the new ropes, and she, realizes it's not new ropes, it is the secret of his strength. And if you weave my hair, that's the secret of my strength. And she realized that. And then she says, you've lied to me and lied to me. And finally, he tells her, if you cut my hair, well, I'll be like any other man. He's blind, because each time he tells her one thing, the Philistines jump on him with that one thing, and he doesn't figure out that she's on their team. Well, when they cut his hair, he's like any other man, and the first thing they do is they put his eyes out. He's blind. The second thing they do is they bind him. And the third thing they do is they make him grind at the mill. One day, they're going to have a big party for their god Dagon, and they bring him out to make fun of him, blind, weak guy, and they're screaming, Dagon is stronger than Jehovah God. And he prays again and says, God, let me avenge myself of my eyes. Not the reason that God brought him to this earth, but he gets his strength back for one more time, and he pushes the supports of the temple, and 3,000 people are killed in his death. But what do you learn from this? Well, you learn that if you don't break wrong relationships in your life, they'll break you. If you continue to pursue things you know are sinful and you know are wrong, yes, God can use you. God can use you for a bad example. He can use you for a good example. But it doesn't mean that you won't be broken under those choices. It's a lesson for all of us to examine our lives and find out if there's something we're doing that's compartmentalized, disobeying God, because ultimately that's the thing that's going to break us.